Greetings, Love Posse. Today's message: sometimes we can't show up. Last week, I did not post a message. I couldn't show up. I walk my talk and talk my walk. I do my best to show up. I show up when I'm afraid. I show up when I feel I don't know enough, when I feel I don't know what I'm doing, even if I think I'm not prepared. Why? Because there are lessons to be learned in those situations. When you're afraid, when you're not prepared, when you feel you don't know enough, when you feel you don't know what you're doing. But this wasn't the case. I don't know about you, but that Virgo new moon was so intense. I'm highly sensitive, and that Virgo new moon just wiped me out. Some days I couldn't eat. One day I took 4 naps. Every day I was sleeping and spinning and disoriented and just could not muster up the energy, the clarity, the pureness and presence required to hear the message and share it with you. I wasn't my best. All my life, I've been an overachiever. And on my journey, I've had to learn to slow down. I'm fire energy. My North Node is also fire. Fire, my sun sign is Sagittarius. My North Node is Aries. I have other Aries in my chart. Another Sagittarius planet in my chart. Fire, 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 always wanting to go, do. So on this journey, I've had to learn to slow down. I've had to learn self-care. I've had to learn that sometimes I can't show up because I don't have the energy, the focus. I can barely lift my head. So I had to sleep. And it was my intention, my desire, my will to show up and post a message, but I couldn't. So this became a message. Some of you out there have, like me, been getting messages, have gotten messages from the external world. To show up no matter what. To play through the pain. and we've done that, right? At some point in my life, I've been clinically and chronically depressed, and I functioned. I've played sports, soccer, ran track, and softball, and kickball, through pain, and there were consequences. You're not your best. I wasn't my best. Okay, maybe you can show up ill and still give your best. I knew I couldn't show up. And again, we get these messages in the world, especially from influencers. Be consistent with your message. Post every day. I'm not a post every day kind of girl, okay? I am consistent. And in that consistency, I'm real and authentic about when you can't show up and you have a reason why. Like, I don't have the energy. You know, I'm walking, navigating the intense energies and chaos and overwhelm on this planet. So I can't show up. That's consistent for me. I'm not playing a game. I'm not competing with anyone else. I'm doing my best to be my true, authentic self. And some days, I may not be able to show up. And another thing, I don't owe anyone an explanation. I'm giving you one because this is a message. A message that if you can't show up, if you are not feeling well, physically, mentally well, take a break. Take care of yourself. Show up when you can. You don't owe anyone an explanation. If people support you, if they are true on the people on this path that are true to the path, they know this. They know all that shit in the external world, all that conditioning, all that stuff, the people telling us work through the pain, show up through the pain. That's them, right? That's you know, it's funny. What if we show up while we're in pain? Does that make us any more special than anyone else? No, we're no more special than a blade of grass. Some of these people want us to believe that you get a reward by pushing through the pain when you don't feel well. What, to show up? No, there's no reward. What, to brag and to say, I wasn't feel well and I still did it. You have to do it too. You don't do that to other people. That's not loving kindness. That's not compassion. If you want to show up and say, I'm not feeling well today, but I'm still here for you, ask yourself why. Why do you even have to tell someone? Just show up. I want to show up when I can bring it. And yes, I did say, show up if you are in fear. Show up if you are not prepared. Show up if you're feeling you don't know enough or you don't know what you're doing. For me, that's different. For me, that's an opportunity to expand and grow, to get there on that stage and that platform and be responsible, hold yourself accountable, and make it into something beautiful. Tell your audience, I wasn't going to show up today because I'm in fear. I'm afraid of A, B, C, and D. You know how transformative that is? I wasn't going to show up today because I didn't feel that I was prepared enough. What is enough? Can anyone tell me what enough is? You know how healing that is for self and others? I wasn't going to show up today because I didn't feel I knew enough. I wasn't going to show up today because I didn't feel that I knew what I was doing. You know what that opens up? A conversation. Not only a conversation, you will have people in the audience who are afraid, who feel they don't prepare enough, or they're not prepared enough to do what they want to do. People who feel they don't know enough. People who feel they don't know what they're doing. That's why I suggest showing up under those circumstances. But when you're ill, you're showing up, people going to work sick with a cold or whatever else, and they're hacking, spreading germs. Why? Because we've been conditioned to do that nonsense. So sometimes, Love Posse, we may not be able to show up. You may not be able to show up because you're not feeling well. Love yourself enough to slow down, to relax, to sleep, to take the time your body needs to heal, to integrate the new energies on the planet. From astrologers, I hear that September to December is going to be tough energetically. It's going to be loud, all the noise in the external world. And you may have things that you have to do. You may have to show up. But if it's mental and physical, ask yourself, is it worth it? Some people you may have to explain why, if it's your job. Other times, like sharing content on these social media platforms. For me, it's not worth it. And if you have people who have subscribed to your channel, who are supporting you, if they can't understand, they can't understand. Do you want them to support you? On this spiritual path, we're all travelers. And this is part of our personal and spiritual development. To show up and to understand that part of the path is sometimes you may not be able to show up, and you must know when. Is this circumstance, is this reason enough for me not to show up? Is this reason enough for me to show up? You're going to have to gauge that. Sometimes we can't show up. It's not a big deal. Okay? okay? Be gentle with yourself. Love yourself. Honor and respect your body wisdom. Honor and respect the universe and the cosmos giving you message through the body, through the confusion and lack of focus. Maybe you need to sit your butt down and take some time and allow whatever is working through you and for you to work through you and for you. Thank you for your time, Love Posse. Namaste.